Good morning, parents and carers. This video is just to inform you a little bit about the maths we teach at St Michael and the way we teach calculation, particularly in Year 6. So this morning we'll be looking at subtraction, addition, multiplication and division. So in Year 6, pupils are expected to understand when it's appropriate to calculate mentally and when to use formal and written methods. We're going to go through today some of the formal and written methods that children have to use, but it's important for them to understand in their own heads the calculations they can just do mentally and what they actually need to write down. And now they're in Year 6, they should be mature enough to start realising that. They need to be able to add and subtract numbers up to 10 million. They need to be able to multiply digit numbers up to 4 digits by a two-digit number. To divide numbers up to 4 digits by a two-digit number using the formal written method of division, otherwise known as long division. They need to be able to divide numbers up to 4 digits by a two-digit number using short division where appropriate. And solve multi-step problems in context, deciding what operations to use and why. So let's go through some of those now. First of all, looking at addition. So here we have a calculation, and I've got 4,502,491 add 453,562. So I'm going to start with my ones, my smallest number possible, and I'm going to work from right to left. Meaning if I have to carry, I can work across. I haven't got to stop my calculation, start again. So 1 add 2 gives me 3. 9 tens plus 6 tens gives me 15 tens. So what I do is I carry over, I'm going to mark my 1 down there. So now I've got 4 plus 5 plus 1, and that gives me an answer of 10. So I carry my next one. 2 plus 3 plus 1 gives me an answer of 6. 5 plus 0 gives me 5. 5 plus 4 gives me 9. And 4 plus 0 gives me 4. So I end up with the answer 4,956,053. So that's how we add here at St Michael's. Moving on to subtraction. And this question I've got is 8,248,473 subtract 45,328. So the reason why I've chosen a number smaller than the other is because it's really important to encourage children to learn their calculations accurately and neatly as possible. What this does is it allows children to see how the calculation lines up, because if they make a mistake lining up their calculation, they're undoubtedly going to make a mistake with the calculation itself. So, starting with the ones. 3 subtract 8. Unfortunately, I can't do that, so I have got to exchange, which means I take 1 from this 7 here, I make this a 6, and then I can transfer over 10 ones, making this number in the ones 13. And now I can do 13 subtract 8, which gives me an answer of 5. I've then got 6 take away 2, which gives me 4. 4 take away 3, which gives me 1. 8 take away 5, which gives me 3. 4 take away 4, which gives me 0. 2 take away 0, which gives me 2. And 8 take away 0, which gives me 8. And it leaves me with an answer of 8,203,145. Now to look at multiplication. Here's how we set out a multiplication calculation. So 5,734 times by 67. So I'm going to start with the ones in this calculation, calculate everything by this 7 first. So let's begin. 7 times 4, that gives me an answer of 28. So I'm going to put 8 there, carry my 2. Then I've got 7 times 3, which is 21, add 2 is 23. Again, carrying my 2. Then I've got 7 times 7, which is 49, add 2 gives me 51. Carry my 5. And now I've got 7 multiplied by 5, and that gives me an answer of 35, plus 5 gives me 40. So I end up with 40,138. Now let's multiply everything by the 6, or 60. And that's really important they know it is 60, because we have to add a placeholder here to represent that this is 60 and not just 6. So now I'm going to do 6 multiplied by 4, which gives me an answer of 24. Put my 4 in, carry my 2. Then I'm going to do 6 multiplied by 3, which gives me 18. Add 2 gives me 20. Carry my 2 again. 7 multiplied by 7, or 6 multiplied by 7. This gives me 42 plus 2 is 44. carry my 4. And finally, 6 multiplied by 5 gives me 3, or 30. 4 plus 30 gives me 34. So I end up with 344,040. Now moving on to division. We would recommend children use short division when they're working with numbers up to 12. Numbers they're confident with. So let's put this into our short division. So 3,540 divided by 7. How many times does 7 go into 3? That's the first question we have to ask. But it doesn't actually fit in at all. So I put 0 above it, and like we did with our subtraction earlier, I carry my 3 over. This now becomes 35. How many times does 7 go into 35? Well, 7 goes into 35 5 times, with no remainders. Next, how many times does 7 go into 4? Well, unfortunately it doesn't. So again, I have to make this 40. How many times does 7 go into 40? It goes in 5 times to make 35, leaving a remainder of 5. And what's good is we encourage the children here to show this in many ways. So we might show it as 505 remainder 5. Or they can also show it as a fraction. They could also show it 505. And what they can do is they can take their remainder, which is 5, and put it over the denominator of 7, making 5 sevenths. Now moving on to long division. And here we've got the calculation 1,104 divided by 44. So first of all, I'm going to start my calculation similar to the last one. I'm going to write 1,104 and I'll write 44 here. However, I'm going to begin this by writing out my 44 times tables because I don't know them fluently and we'd expect children would not know them fluently as well. That's why I write them out here for easy access during the calculation. So 1 times 44 is 44. With a times table the children don't know, we encourage them to add the 1s, add the 10s. So 44 add 4 gives me 48, add 4 10s gives me 88. Plus 4 1s gives me 92, plus 4 10s gives me 132. Add 4 1s gives me 136, add 4 10s gives me 176. Then add 4 1s gives me 180, add 4 10s gives me 220. And then finally I'm going to write down 10 times it, which is 440. Now I'm looking for the biggest value possible I can take away from my number. Now the biggest value I've got here that I can subtract from 1,104 is 440. So let's take that away first of all. And I'm going to note down here that that is 10 times 44. So 4 take away 0 is 4. 0 take away 4 I can't do, so I've got to exchange. 10 take away 4 I can do, and that gives me an answer of 6. 0 take away 4 I cannot do, so again I've got to exchange. 10 take away 4 I can do, and that gives me an answer of 6. So I end up with 664. Again, I will look at my times tables and look for the biggest value I can take away. The biggest value again is 440. And again, I'm going to note down that's 10 times 44. So 4 take away 0 is 4. 6 take away 4 is 2. 6 take away 4 again is 2. End up with 224. Now I've got to look for the biggest value here I can take away again. And the biggest value is 220. So that is 5 times my number. So 4 take away 0 is 4, 2 take away 2 is 0, 2 take away 2 is 0. So I end up with 4 left over. Now what I do is I count all these numbers here, the numbers that I've actually, amounts of 44 I've taken away. We've done this through repeated subtraction, that's what long division is. So I've got 10, 20, 25 with a remainder of 4. So I end up with the answer of 25 remainder 4. And that's how we'd solve a long division problem. Now moving on to word problems, and this is where it comes into being able to know what operation to use when maybe it is not quite explicit. And this is what we really try and encourage the children to practice. So this example says Mo has £1,000 to spend. He buys a TV and a games console. Does Mo have enough money left to buy the phone? So we'd encourage children to highlight keywords. So the keywords here are that he has £1,000 to spend and he buys a TV and a games console. And then I'm going to highlight the value of those, which is £199 and £349. And they want to know if he's got enough money left to buy the phone. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to do 349, add 199. And then with the total, we're going to take it away from 1,000 to see what's left, see if we've got enough left. So 9 plus 9, that gives me 18. Carry my 1. I've got 9 plus 4, which is 13. Add the 1 is 14. Carry my 1 again. 3 plus 1 plus 1 gives me 5. So I've got a total of £548 first of all. He only had £1,000, so I've got to see what's left from that. Has he got enough money to buy the phone? So let's take that away from 1,000. So I'm going to do £1,000, subtract 548. So I'm going to do a lot of exchanging here. So I'm going to make this 0 here, make this a 10, but also make it a 9 straight away, because I'm going to carry right the way to my 1s. Again here, make it a 10, then make it a 9. And here, make that a 10 in the last column. Finally, 10 take away 8. That gives me an answer of 2. 9 take away 4 gives me 5. And 9 take away 5 gives me 4. Now, he's only got £452 left. So is that going to be enough money to buy the phone? No. Unfortunately, it's not, because he only has £452 left to spend. So no. That just encourages children, without it being clear, to know what operations to use in order to solve the problems. And finally, one thing that is really big at St Michael's is reasoning. It's really important that children are able to justify the decisions they make and also be able to correct mistakes in other people's work. So here we've got Mr Hall's written these subtractions on the board. We've got 45,541, subtract 25,865. Then we've got Whitney's working, which we've done 68,945, subtract 34,758. Just stop for a second. Can you see any mistakes here already? So that's when we give the children a real chance to have a look at these calculations and see what they can spot wrong with them. So they'll be looking through and looking for any errors here. And finally, I found an error in Rosie. In Rosie's workings, we found an error. If you look here, what Rosie has done is she has written the numbers the wrong way round. If you look, she's actually done 25,865, subtract 45,541. So she's written the calculation round the wrong way. And then what she's done is she's just ignored any situations where she had to exchange. She's just taken away the bigger number constantly. So that's what she would need to correct. Looking at Whitney's work, what she's done is the same. She's not exchanged at all. She's done 5 take away 8 and got the answer of 3. We know we cannot do 5 take away 8. We'd end up in negative numbers. So she has to exchange from her tens. Thank you very much for watching this. If you do have any questions about how we teach maths here at St Michael's, feel free to email myself or Miss Morgan about this. I hope this was informative.